So tonight I went off to the Buddhist center and I have just started a 6-week introductory course to Buddhism and meditation. And during this course, the instructor said something really, really powerful, which I have to share with you now. So he was talking about how there are the 5 senses. We have sight, we have hearing, we have taste, smell, touch, and I think that's it. But then there's like this 6th sense, and he was talking about the mind being this 6th sense and observing it as if you would observe a smell. And this is really, really powerful because when it comes to sexual urges, we can really use this concept to overcome our urges, because essentially those urges are no different to a smell or a thing that you see or something that you feel. It's just going on in our mind. It's internal instead of external. And so I guess in our mind we separate it, but really all it is a temporary sensation. It's a feeling. For me, it might be, it feels like my throat has become a little bit tighter. There's a tightness in my chest as well. Maybe a bit of a almost sickness and anxiety going around in my stomach. And my mind might be really like buzzing. It's sort of moving around and I'm unable to think. It feels like my thought processes have become really tight and constricted. And the only option for me is to look at sexual content. So that's a brief description of how I feel when I have these urges, which do come up. They come up and then they go as well. And I think being able to describe them in detail as best as you possibly can be really useful, because it then creates some distance from you, your actions, and the sensations that you experience. And it also helps you realize that actually those sensations are temporary, because in other moments of life, you can do this sort of body scan and realize, oh, well, I don't feel any of these sexual urges any longer. Instead, maybe my body feels quite open and light, and I don't feel like my thinking is restricted. Instead, it feels really open. And so I think this is a really useful thing to do. I think describing the urge in detail can be really powerful. I also think there's another layer though, another thing that you can do on top of becoming aware of those sensations. And I think the other thing which can be really valuable is to actually be quite kind, tender, compassionate towards yourself, because these urges don't feel nice. They feel really, really bad. It doesn't feel good. And often those sensations come up because we're reliving some kind of childhood trauma, something that was really challenging to go through. And so what we can do is we can kind of close our eyes, feel into those sensations even more, and start to really process what happened to us when we were younger. It's almost like we're going back in time and suddenly we're that 10-year-old again, and we can have a conversation with the 10-year-old and the person who hurt us. And now we're an adult, we can actually look after and be kind and compassionate and loving towards that child within us, which once didn't get the support which it really, truly needed. So all of this work is internal. And I guess the main message of this very short video is to be kind to yourself, to be aware, to be compassionate, and to not resist, but instead accept and understand and be curious about the sensations that we feel. And the more distance that we create from them, and the more kindness that we do provide as well, the freer we become. And it all gets a lot easier, because instead of fighting ourselves and being in this war, being in this battle, which a lot of people talk about when they talk about addiction, instead of all of that, we're just on a journey of healing and discovering more about ourselves, being curious, being open, and it all becomes a lot easier, but still very challenging, because talking about it now, it makes it seem incredibly easy, but no, it is still obviously going to be difficult and it is going to be painful, but it 100% is worth it. So I hope this video helps. I hope you've taken something away from it. Please do check out the link in the description to find my Discord community, which is totally free to join. You can talk with me and others on there. You can also get one-to-one coaching, so there are a few spaces available at the moment. And there's also my online course out at the moment as well for just £9.99. So I'd love to see some people enroll onto that to really quit porn for good. Thanks a lot for watching, and I will see you in the next video.